Hey everyone, welcome to What's Happening in Real Estate this week. I've got Brian Hogbin with Mission 35 Mortgages, Conrad Zarini with REMAX Escarpment, REMAX Niagara, and myself. If you like what you're seeing, like us, share, and subscribe. I'm telling you, you'll really appreciate it. What I want to talk about today is the stats just came out. And it's actually, it's not bad. I mean, numbers are up year over year, which is pretty good. And pretty soon we're closing in the gap as time goes on in unit sales. Now, in Hamilton, in the Hamilton area, I mean, the only area that really kind of stayed steady year over year was Glanbrook, but Dundas took a little bit of a beating year over year. Yep. And then Waterdown 3% down, Stony Creek 1% down. That's all of Stony Creek, Upper and Lower combined. But Flamborough is kind of tough because there's a lot of high-end homes over there, down 37%. But if you look at Niagara Falls, down 3% year over year. St. Catharines is down 1%, and Welland up 1%. So now, how we've been doing in the last 6 months? In the last month, we're treading slowly up, but not much. Niagara Falls is down from previous month. St. Catharines is down previous month. Brantford is down the previous month. And Burlington is stayed still. Mm-hmm. And Hamilton on the benchmark value, they came down a little bit on month over month. So what's going on?
Yeah, it's a phenomenon we've seen all across Southern Ontario, even into Toronto. Toronto was down slightly in benchmark price as well. Yeah, I think some of that interest rate situation is baking its way in, but the spring really was a little later, and it was like May, June. I was pretty happy about, our company's numbers. Rob, your numbers are amazing. As a matter of fact, I looked at your numbers. You're above 2021, which was a benchmark. So that's kudos to you, my friend.
We're working on it, man.
I'll tell you, when you guys talk about winning in any market, you guys really do. So you live it and breathe it. But I think, people are gravitating to great agents. And yes, it's a challenging time. And I think there's a lot of strategy. And I think, Brian's team is all about strategy as well. I think when people are looking at mortgages, they got to be strategic. I think these rates are here to stay somewhat in some way, shape, or form. Maybe they're at their peak. They're going to make an announcement next week. I don't know. I see if there is a 25 basis points increase, I think those people that have some commitments will rush into the market. Yeah. Interestingly enough, we're up 37% in appointments, Rob. For the same
I did. I announced that. I read that newsletter that you come out with every week. And that was good to read, actually.
And 10 showings for every sold. The lowest it's been all year. That's telling me that those people that have those rate holds are pulling the trigger much, much faster. So we might see that carry us through the rest of the summer. So that's my point.
And I think it also
how are the the approvals going and everything else like that?
Oh, approvals are coming in. I think it goes to show what Conrad said there too. May was a spike, right? And I think you see it's a result of when we had a pause, right? Because the Bank of Canada paused, and look at how much activity went into the marketplace, right? So I think that's something to look at, because if they do raise a quarter, the unemployment numbers just came out today and they went up by 0.2. So it's moving in the direction that the Bank of Canada wants it to move, but I don't think it's moving fast enough because there's still job creation out there too. But it just goes to show too that this market, when you do see a pause in rates, there are people still sitting on the sidelines waiting to jump in. And you can see that from the May numbers. And then I think this is just a little bit of that calm before, what happens. Just like anytime something changes with rates or mortgage rules, there's a little bit of a slowdown. But then the Bank of Canada doesn't meet in August, right? So then there's going to be probably a lot of activity that's going to pipe up again in September, because we're going to have two sets of numbers that are going to come in again to help influence that decision.
isn't this market hard to gauge in the last 4 years? So we've experienced a whole mixed bags of stuff. So we got a pandemic in there. We got low interest rates. We got high interest rates. We got a spike in real estate, a downturn in real estate, like and a crisis and shortage of homes, and then a crisis and shortage of rental properties. Has anything just come to like this bag of stuff like this ever in the history of in the last 100 years at all? I don't think so.
No, and I was just going to say, and you've got more experts. So when you look on your social media feed, everybody's an expert right now too on what's happening in the market. There's thousands of them. Thousands.
Well, yeah. No, I was going to say too, like it shows you the resiliency of the Canadian home buyer as well, how they weather through this no matter what. It's pretty amazing. I look, and there's opportunities. I think what we're seeing now is a real value conscious consumer, and I think they're looking at, you know, price per square foot a little bit deeper. And I've said it before, that unicorn comes out. People are not going to wait for that unicorn to come back in. They're all coming in and they're going to buy it. I think if you've got that kind of unique, kind of great property, it's a great time to sell right now because there are still buyers. You can see by the numbers. They're not as doom and gloom as we all think, right?
I think Phil's ready to pull the trigger on something. And,
good. I saw something. I saw something right around the corner from my house.
Yeah.
That's a beauty.
I said, so what? I said, Phil, so what? You have to empty your bank account. You may not have furniture in your house for a while. Don't worry. I said, just do it. I said,
we're
you're
going to
make
be neighbors.
Yeah,
that's my hood, man.
I got one coming up across the street. I want him to be my neighbor. He should come over there. He can walk to work.
His biggest worst enemy is himself because he knows the market too well. I said, just pull the trigger, just do it. I says, that house, that if you buy that house in 10 years, it's going to be double. So what are you worried about? You know,
exactly.
I said, what are
you know what,
about?
Rob? That's exactly the issue today too. Is I think there's so much bloody information out there today that people get that old analysis paralysis. And the reality is, if you can afford it, you've done the budget, you buy within your means, your house is the house is the number one investment for Canadians today. Yeah. It really is. So you know what? Buy it and stay in it and pay off your mortgage for 10 years. You'll do fine.
I told him, buy it. So what? If the market goes up, down a little bit, up a little bit, doesn't matter. It's where you live. And I said to him, I go, look, you're gonna afford it because you're gonna work harder. You're not gonna spend that much time golfing anymore. And you'll make me more money. He'll make me more money.
Yeah, he's gonna make you more money.
Look, the old dad here is telling him, yeah, go for it. Get in debt. That's it. Holy smokes.
That's hilarious.
So another thing that came up on a thing, it says, rooming house rival, Canadian cities look at single room homes amid housing crunch. So is there a lot of, I remember I saw the odd rooming house in Hamilton years ago, but I don't know. Are they still around?
Yeah, they are. They did it, I would say about 8 to 10 years ago, I was involved with some not-for-profits and there was a lot of trading going on in them. Now it's that old thing come back, right? I think, they're just looking at everything, as a matter of fact. They're converting old retirement homes to rooming homes. It's not only seniors going in them and stuff like that. So there's a lot of that play going on. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So is there an opportunity now for people, because now the Ontario government, the cities and municipalities are allowing people to duplex their house because there's a shortage of housing. They're laneway homes. They're allowing everything just to get more housing. Yeah. Is this going to be that thing where it's going to be illegal non-conforming in 20 years from now or 30 years from now? They say, oh yeah, we were allowing that because we had a shortage, but now we're stopping it because it's grandfathered in, because you did it back then. You can't do it now on new homes or anywhere else. Do you think this is a new era of these properties becoming legal non-conforming in 30 years from now? They're allowed now, but remember, how there's a lot of duplexes in Hamilton.
I hear you. No, there is.
Yeah.
I think that, the cool thing about legal non-conforming is as long as there's the market for it and you don't change it, it continues. So that's a great little lever. But look, Toronto's gone with 4 now. Like there's no single family anymore. Toronto's got 70% of the single family homes, like 70% single family. Now they've just changed it. It was remarkable about a month ago. Now single family allows for 4 properties on a single family. So just wait till you see what happens there, right? That explosion that's going to happen. But I kind of segue, which is interesting. I don't know if you guys follow it, but there was an article in the paper the other day that found out about people that the Canadian government now knows how many empty bedrooms that people have.
I don't know how.
Oh,
they get
yes.
that.
And they've been doing this for years and years. I'm writing it in my blog right now. I thought, what the heck? They found single people and couples. It's up to 39% have extra bedrooms. So I'm wondering, what do they think we're going to do with the extra bedrooms? Like, are they going to tax extra bedrooms?
Come on.
And they have been doing this. Just Google it. It was in the Globe and
It's
Mail.
it's crazy.
That's crazy. Like, they're counting how many extra bedrooms we have. Like, what are you kidding? Yeah. So it's crazy.
So I didn't even check in Hamilton. I was just checking in Niagara Falls on rooms for rent. Can you believe they range from $650? They start almost at $650 to $850 a month for a bedroom in a house that you're sharing the house with. Isn't that insane? How much they're asking for?
Well, you can't get a bachelor apartment for less, right? So that's what you're competing with. You pay $700, you're not getting a bachelor unit anymore. You're probably paying over $1,000 for that. No, and I think too, the one thing on these rooming houses too is they are a dog's breakfast to finance. Like, lenders do not like rooming houses.
You don't want to see.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Well, it's like what we tell our clients, like, take all the locks off the doors if you had a student rental, because when the appraiser comes in, they notify.
Well, they don't want, like, it's the safety of it, and then there's no compliance for it, right? So for a rooming house, like, the banks won't do it, and even some of our alternative lenders on the B side, like even there, like, it's kind of you got to see that the rental income is being declared on the income taxes, and they'll still charge a premium for it. So I don't know if those will really gain a lot of momentum, because they are tough to do.
It's tough to manage.
Yeah. It is tough to manage because you got people coming and going. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you, a homeless guy can't even afford a room in a rooming house. They're getting so expensive right now. That's why everybody's on the streets. Now, the city, they can build these large rooming houses. Have like they build them like dorms in universities. You know, they have one kitchen on the main level, and each bedroom has a refrigerator for themselves. But why can't you finance? Like, what about commercial financing? Would they finance a rooming house?
Well, it's an enterprise, right? Like a business, like anything else, right? It would be like a retirement home.
I think like Conrad said, the bigger ones, yes, right? Because you're actually running a business there. The smaller mom and pop ones, no, right? When you've got 3, 4, 5 bedrooms in a home, or 1 bedroom in a home, people will do it to subsidize the mortgage payment, which I think is great. You know, but to actually have that as an investment property, no, they don't want to do it. Insurance, liability, the whole list of reasons. They think it's very unsafe.
So basically, the only way to do it is buy a house with 10 bedrooms as a single family home, and then rent it out after you got the financing. That's
like the student rental idea. Like, exactly. Yeah. They'll pop up all over the city. You're 100% right. Yeah. Well, you know, another trend that's happening is people buying apartments where the old 70s apartments were like 700, 800, maybe 900 square feet. And they're chopping them up into 3. So there's one on Melbourne right now that a developer bought, and he's probably going to his yield. He's taking like 1 unit and making it 2.5. So and again, in Parkdale, Melbourne, it's a lower income area. He's got a steady clientele. At least he can rent it back to the people that had units there for the same amount of money. They may not get the space, but they're able to be back into the unit for the same amount of money. $800, $900 or whatever.
Does that work with the whole, because people would say when they renovate to move out, you got to offer them the same unit again. So you're offering them the same unit, but it's smaller.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know what? The size, right?
Right. Yeah. You got the unit, but not the.
But you know what? It's the only way. You know what? I think it's going to become tougher for companies buying these large apartment buildings and renovating them and trying to get people to leave there, because they're fighting back now. Like I think I'd be scared to buy in a building, because already they got somebody in Hamilton. They want to buy the building. They're hitting the newspapers, and they're making the new buyer look bad because he wants to renovate and have people leave.
I'll tell you something, that system is broken. I've got an issue right now with an apartment building where the upstairs unit is leaking into the downstairs unit, and we've done everything to fix it, but we have to tear out the entire bathroom and leave someone without a bathroom. So that means that they legitimately have to leave for, a couple days, a week or something in order to fix the bathroom, right? But the downstairs they called the city to end up getting it fixed, and they give you a 14-day to comply. I'm saying, like, I can put drywall up, but it's going to leak again. It is a very,
you
very,
can't win. You can't win with the city.
It's a very broken system right now, even for an honest landlord that wants to actually fix something.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how quickly they act, a heck of a lot quicker than when it comes down to the landlord-tenant tribunal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No
When
kidding.
it's like,
no kidding.
It's a very tough one right now. Very, very tough, I think, to
Wow.
negotiate those.
Well,
interesting times. Interesting times.
Interesting. Any last words for this weekend? But I just want to say Conrad is out of the country and he's here. This guy, man, I have to thumbs up to Conrad. I'm telling you, this guy's always on. Hey guys, I just want to say thank you for being on, and anybody else, please like, share, and subscribe, and listen more that what we have that's going on in real estate this week. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being around.